Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on.
What's up? What's up, DC fans? We're back for another round of DC news. As I've been saying, as we're getting closer to next year, further away from the strikes and the lockdowns and everything, there's more and more DC news coming out, and it's an exciting time because again, I get a lot of my information when things are in production, kind of behind the scenes, and then we got some public information that we're going to touch on. Kyle Chandler is officially cast as grizzled Hal Jordan. Definitely keep those comments coming as far as what y'all thinking. I just think Jon Stewart's going to be like a star or like borderline carry the series, just in my opinion. But let me know. Continue to let me know in the comments because, again, y'all been very active talking about that. Also, before we get to the Supergirl information that was confirmed today, and it's a little speculation with that, the Superman and Lois show, final season, coming out in October. We're going to be doing watch parties over here for that on this platform. We're going to be talking about the comic book Easter eggs. They're doing the death of Superman. They're doing the reign of Superman, or probably the funeral for a friend as well. I think they're going to do all this, their own version of it in this show. The showrunner talked about this at San Diego Comic-Con. I was in the building for that, and that's what they were saying. They're going to do their own little versions of those popular storylines. So I'm really excited for this season of Superman and Lois. And again, it's the final season. So Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, the film that's taking elements from the Tom King comic book run, seems to have found the villain. Before we do that, I definitely, again, appreciated all the support. One major thing to show your support is obviously make sure you're subscribed, smash the like. I'm seeing a discrepancy of views and likes. We got to get that back up. If y'all want to be a part of that conversation over here, make sure you're smashing the like. Y'all already commenting like crazy, so continue that as well. Matthias Schoenaerts has landed the villain role in the Supergirl film, again, based off of Woman of Tomorrow. I really haven't seen this guy in anything. They mentioned Rust and Bone and some other projects that y'all probably know better than I would. I really don't know this guy, but he has the face that could be a villain, right? The villain in the comic book run, Krim. He's a petty killer, and then he leveled up when he stole Supergirl's spaceship, right? So Supergirl, this again is based off the Tom King 2022 comic book series. I'm going to be honest, I really wasn't a fan of that comic book run. Like I know Tom King is cool with James Gunn, so it's about who you know in Hollywood, and Tom King's a part of the writing committee for DC Studios. So he's going to have his hand in multiple things. And the Supergirl and the Lantern series, he's credited under that Lantern series. So, hey, Tom King, this is one thing I'll say with Tom King. I think he's hit or miss, as a writer. I think he kind of relies on his same tropes. But one thing I will say, he tries to write adult content. So those who are feeling like, is DC going to try to get Disneyfied or, be like Marvel too much? Having Tom King kind of telling like, hey, it's going to be some depressing stuff. But that comic run, Woman of Tomorrow, that is not Supergirl. Like, I don't know. Thankfully, he didn't write the script for this film. And again, taking the elements. But if Millie Alcock is playing a Supergirl like that one in the comics, probably won't like this movie too much. I'm going to be quite honest with that. You have Anna Nogueira, who's adapting the comic book for the big screen. She wrote this script. She's also writing the Titans project, which is shrouded in a lot of mystery. That'll probably come up in some members' conversations. as far as the Titans. But in this comic, you have Krim, who Matthias Schoenaerts is playing. He basically kills this alien's girl's father, right? And this girl is pleading for Supergirl to help her. Supergirl is on this planet only because it has a red sun and she wants to get drunk. Just quite honestly, that's literally the plot. That's literally her reason on being there. She just wants, so anytime a Kryptonian is under a red sun, they don't have their full abilities. So she's going up there so that she could feel the alcohol. That's literally, again, this isn't Supergirl. This isn't Kara Zor-El. So I hope they change that. But anyway, there's girls imploring Kara Zor-El to help her. And Supergirl's like, I'm going to stay out of this conflict. I'm just here to drink. Then Krim attacks Supergirl and nearly kills Crypto. Through the whole comic series, you're thinking Crypto's dead or dying or something. But of course, can't kill Crypto. And then at the end, they put Krim, again, this is in the comic, they put Krim into the Phantom Zone. Krim is not a meta. Now, hopefully they give him some abilities in the, in the film. He's only been in this comic run, The Woman of Tomorrow. This is a Tom King invention, so they got to adapt this to live action. But it's just, he's not a Kryptonian. He doesn't have powers. He's only is able to put up a fight because Supergirl is under the red sun. So it's like, I don't know why they're really adapting all this, but again, the director, I think they have a good director attached to this. I think Millie Alcock is going to be a star. And I think they're not going to fully do like page, panel to screen. Now, some cool news here is saying this next chapter in the DCU phase 1 will start filming in January 2025 in the UK. We just had a video about the Lanterns. They're starting in January as well in the UK. It's going to be a lot of DC information starting the beginning of the year because you got both of these things in production. And then by the time they wrap up, the Superman film will be in theaters, July of 2025 as well. So 2025 is going to be a very interesting year for DC news and information. And hopefully I make the next Comic-Con because I'm sure they're going to have a huge panel because it's put up or shut up next year for DC. So we'll see if we need to shut up. The Supergirl film scheduled to hit theaters June 26, 2026. So you got 2025 Superman, 2026 Supergirl. So they're trying to lock up the summers here. One last line here about Deadline. They keep saying this, that Supergirl is going to appear in another DC project before making her big screen debut. Now that's interesting because I was covering the behind the scenes, when Superman was in Cleveland, in Ohio, they was doing the Cincinnati and they did the Cleveland stuff first. And that's when this channel here really took off because it was covering the behind the scenes stuff. And one day on set, I remember reporting this. They said there's a surprise cameo and it wasn't the Justice League International. And they said it was a hero cameo in a Superman film. And they were sworn to secrecy. The local newspaper was. I could have sworn that's Supergirl. Like there's nothing else to hide with this film. You got the Justice League International. You've seen Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific. We know of Maxwell Lord. Maybe they'll do a cool character arc with Maxwell Lord because in the comics he got taken over by AI, and that's very appropriate nowadays to do a story like that. But it's like, what's the other surprises? Ultraman, we've seen him. The Engineer, we know that she's showing up. They didn't show a lot of Lex Luthor behind the scenes, and I find that interesting because he's in a lot of this film for Superman. So this little hero mystery cameo, it has to be Supergirl. And with them reiterating that she's going to be in a DC project, before her film drops in 2026, what else could it be?